And now, the worst streamer on the internet, Battery H.
Good evening, everyone, or good day, depending on where you are and when you are. I'm Battery H. Welcome to day 43 of 100 Days of Gaming, as we continue with the 20th anniversary edition Gabriel Knight Sins of the Fathers. I'm Battery H. This is my channel, and welcome again. We're doing this 100 Days of Gaming, as I've said, in support of Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, a network of 170 hospitals across North America, and as a function of EXTRALIFE. EXTRALIFE is an organization that raises money for these hospitals by gamers. And we pledge to play games, and we ask people to donate in return. If you care to make a donation, we'll get to that, just how to do that in just a second. But let me say first that every penny we raise, we don't see it. The gamers don't see a penny of it. The hospital administration or staff doesn't see any of it. It all goes directly to helping the kids. That's the deal we have. 100% of the money. None of it goes to fundraising. None of it goes to staff. None of it goes to compensating trips or parties or anything like that. It all goes towards researching new treatments. It goes to buying new equipment to help these kids. It goes to providing the kind of outreach and care that these children need. Now, what's really special is this particular game that we're playing tonight, as we have for the last couple nights, is set in New Orleans. And the hospital I'm playing for, if you haven't seen it just off to my side here, is Children's Hospital of New Orleans. So, this game has a little bit of a personal history for me. I played it when it originally came out. It was great then, had a wonderful voice cast that unfortunately they couldn't bring back. But it's bringing back a lot of fun memories. So we're going to get right back into the action here. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's donated. We've raised $630 so far. Our goal this year is a very ambitious $1,337. Yes, L-E-E-T. I know. I'm a geek. I can't help it. If you'd care to make a donation, it doesn't have to be big. Every single dollar, I mean, even a $1 donation goes a long way toward helping. If you're on Twitch right now, simply type !extralife. Or if you're watching this later on YouTube, look in the description below. There's a link that will take you to my fundraising page, tell you a little bit about me, why I'm raising the money, some of the things I'm offering to the people who have given. We're giving out some neat stuff. I'm arranged for some little gifts and things for some folks. And on November 5th, we're going to be having a 25-hour marathon to kind of wrap up this year's campaign. I'll be playing from 8 in the morning to 8 in the morning, and since it's the night that Daylight Savings Time ends, I get to fall back and play from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. twice. Because I love being awake at 2 a.m. so much, they make me do it twice. What can I say? Sounds as good a time as any. But we will be doing that then, so we'd like to try to hopefully reach our goal by then. Also, special thanks to everyone at Judgment Gaming. We have a team. We've raised $815 as a team total so far. All playing for different hospitals. Ruth Haven 78, thank you, is our latest follower. And as you're about to see here, Martin Linskog is our last donor, donated $15 a little bit ago. So we're going to pick that up. That was last night. And something occurred to me last night, in the middle of the night. There was something I saw in the police station. There was something bugging me. Something's been bugging me about the police station. And the fact that you can't get characters to do anything in this game unless there's a reason for it. And we got Mosley to go get us a cup of coffee, which means we need him out of the office for something. So I'm going to go look and see if there's anything that I can use to get.
I'll be back later.
Have fun.
It's at the police station that I might have to manipulate first. So we're going to go back and check him out one more time. Let's see. I don't think there's anything outside. I know we've seen the alleyway. There's nothing there.
The front windows have iron half grills on them, as if anyone would try to break into a police station.
Down the motorcycles.
It's another municipal building, but not one Gabriel has any interest in.
Let's check our logbook. We talk about stuff in here. About the woman in my dreams changing into a leopard and how they found leopard's fur there. So I'm thinking somebody's either wearing a mask or they're bringing a real leopard in. We're just hoping it's going to be somebody with a mask. But going into your little book there will sometimes help you find stuff. So let's see if there's anything else that we'll talk to you. Can't get anything out of her. Can't get anything out of her.
The bulletin board is littered with everything from wanted posters to flyers. There's a photocopy machine in the... Gabriel is standing in the lobby of his friend Mosley's precinct. It smells like a cross between a hospital and a brewery. The mirror reflects.
I can talk to the mirror. Oh, I gotta do this. Alright.
Looking good, kid.
There's a temperature gauge on the wall near Mosley's office.
Don't touch. That means touch. You understand that, right? In any game like this? Let's turn up the heat on our old friend. That's what comes from being a cop, son.
Hey, hey, hey.
Night.
Look at this. He's
Come
taking
on
his
in.
jacket off.
Whew, it's hot in here.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
What's the status on the voodoo
I
murder
can still
case?
get him to get me coffee.
I told you, it's going for shit.
So, how's it hanging, bud?
Lousy. I hate crime scenes. People are sick fucks, you know that, Night?
I'm starting to get that impression. You been feeling okay lately? You look like hell.
Me? You know. I can't sleep at night, what with thinking about the case and thinking about Annie.
I can relate. Played any b-ball lately?
Does it look like it? I'm so out of shape I'd probably have a coronary just looking at a ball.
Yeah, I'm out of it too. We should play sometime, get back into shape.
Man, I'd love to, Night. I'll let you know if things ever settle down.
Anything else new?
Just work. Sorry I don't have more time to chat, bud.
Yes, there's that.
What's the status on the voodoo murders case?
I told you.
Okay.
How about getting me some coffee?
What am I, your slave?
Hey, I'm working my butt off here.
Yeah, fine.
We can. I remember this now. Something to this effect. Now that we can get him out of the office, we can be a sneaky son of a pup. Oh, yeah.
Mosley's caught. His badge is in the front coat pocket.
There we go. Identity thief.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Just in case.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Just drink this.
Thanks, tons. I mean it.
Okay, anything else?
So how do you find anything in this office? It looks like a war zone in here.
Hey, I get my job done. I'm a detective, not Betty Crocker.
Betty Crocker. Alright, and we can go to...
Well, I'll be seeing you.
Have a good one.
Now that we know where Miss Getty's home is, I think we've got that. I think that's the last thing we should have to do today. I think we've done everything else. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Listen, well, we left it hot for him. He'll get over it. He'll get over it. I should have turned down the temperature and made him cold. Okay, let's go to New Orleans map. concentrate, or no, Getty Mansion. Let's go find our would-be girlfriend.
Perfectly groomed hedges run along the front of the porch. The windows are made of thick, heavy glass. The only thing Gabriel can see inside is
everyone
even
tonight?
thicker drapery. The huge trees bear beards of Spanish moss.
Spanish moss is something really you have to see to believe.
Potted roses mark the entrance to the house.
Well, I don't know that I can enter it. I may have to knock on the door.
May I help you?
I'd like to see Malia Getty, please.
I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you.
I do have official business.
Really? Please tell me the nature of
The
your
nature of your
business.
business.
Encyclopedias?
Go away.
No, that's not what I needed to get to see her. Let's try the badge, I guess we can try that. But I like to exhaust all my options.
May I help you?
The garden district is
I've got important business with Miss Getty.
Yes. I'm waiting on some evidence of that, sir.
I'd really like to see Malia Getty.
I told you.
Please let me in.
No. Go away before I call the police.
Well, I guess it's time to be the police, huh?
May I help you?
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business.
Really? How interesting.
We'll
Wait
give it a
here.
shot.
I'll inform Miss Getty.
You know, sometimes if you're going to meet the woman of your dreams, you have to lie on your profile, right?
Miss Getty will see you. Right this way.
Just a little bit.
Miss Getty will be down shortly.
Thank you.
I love the lion rug. Since your character likes to has a big lion painting, right? Here we go.
What can I do for you, Detective?
genuine lion skin.
I can imagine doing things on that rug.
Excuse me?
Oh, nothing.
He actually let the inner dialogue get outside, right?
Beautiful women. They must be relatives.
They are.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Getty?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
Phone number.
Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
What kind of things interest you?
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise.
Oh, I bet.
The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Tell me about your family.
The Gettys? We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
Oh, I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you, or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective, but that's really none of your concern.
Oh my.
I'm sorry.
Well, I guess we know what happens to the fathers
There are,
in the
of course,
story, don't
other
we?
Gettys in the city. I have a large extended family.
I see. Do you have a husband, boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
So, you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have a business degree from Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology, but my family's interests came first.
Oh, why not something like law, then? Surely that would have been an asset to the family.
Law? Please. I do have some morals, Detective.
Oh.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
For the record, I'm 28, Detective.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have few friends. A woman in my position can't really afford them.
Understandable.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
You really have to exhaust
I
all
try
these
to
things.
stay away from the media as much as possible. Last year there was that story about John Jr. and I. Phone didn't stop ringing for weeks. I prefer to keep my private life private. I would appreciate it if you'd keep my name away from any public association with the police, Detective.
Of course. I would.
As you wish, Detective.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Animal masks? I don't know what you mean.
Tell me about your life in New Orleans.
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now. Tell me more about New Orleans.
I'm afraid I don't get out into New Orleans society much. Because of the Getty money, we have slots in the best country clubs and on the best Mardi Gras courts. But I must admit, I hate it. I avoid actually making an appearance unless it becomes absolutely necessary.
I know about those courts. They're very exclusive.
Yes, especially when it comes to people of my race. That's why we don't turn down the appointments. It's a rare opportunity to rub their noses in it. But that's not where I spend my time. I have more important things to do with my life.
That's admirable. Many women would love the chance to get caught up in that kind of life.
I'm not any kind of woman you might be familiar with.
Yes, I can see that.
He is a lush.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday, but I don't know much about it.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing
Well-
silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced.
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh? Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
Well, you know.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I really don't know much about it. Isn't there some place in town that you can find out about that sort of thing? A museum or something?
I believe there is a museum.
Then maybe you should check there.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm no expert. I don't fear them like most people do.
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
I've heard of her, of course, but that's about it.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Caux means?
No, I don't. What does it mean, Detective?
That's confidential information, ma'am. This is quite a place.
Thank you. It's been in the family a long time.
Done anything exciting lately?
I'm sorry, but I'm very busy. Can we get to the point?
So what's new with you?
Nothing that would interest you, I'm sure, Detective.
Do you receive all your visitors in this library?
Usually, I feel more comfortable surrounded by things that I love.
So, you like books?
My books, my art, yes.
You know, we have a lot more in common than you might imagine.
I would love to chat about that sometime, Detective, but I'm really pressed at the moment.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
But, you know, you
A
gotta
good
take...
detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job.
I can't help noticing that you're in incredible shape, Miss Getty. Your legs are so strong. Do you work out at one of the clubs by the lake?
Well, Detective, I do enjoy physical activity.
Oh, me too.
Actually, I was referring to swimming and modern dance. I can't say that I do much exercising at the lake, though.
Ah, well, it was worth asking.
I think this has gone on long enough. You're
I'm a
not
southern
really a
charmer.
detective, are you?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering,
Vaguely
I'd
flattering.
really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out. Robert? Show Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
Well, it was worth a try. We did manage to woo her just a little bit.
Hey, Grace, here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
Did I ever tell you that you're actually quite attractive?
Be still, my heart.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
I need you to look up a Madame Casino.
Madame Casino? Is she related to the murders the same way your friend Malia Getty was?
Grace, Casino's at least 70.
As if that makes a difference to you.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
I'll see what I can find. Well, it's about closing time.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
Twisty day 2. Let us go to sleep and see what we shall dream. Here we go again. Blue eyes. Yep. That's new. 3 snakes. Just like Dad's picture. Okay. Day 3. As we begin. Drawn into the halls of learning, I sought there to conspire, but it was in the city of the dead that I found my heart's desire. I think we're going back to the cemetery today, people. Maybe to Tulane as well. Just saying. Just saying. Looks like we had a little rain that night.
I'm so glad you could join us today. I've got messages when you want them. also checked out Casino. There are multiple listings in the white pages. I got the page, but you'll have to figure out the right one.
Great. Thanks.
Alright, well, got the page.
Now, are you gonna tell me what happened yesterday with Malia Getty, or is it just too embarrassing? Don't tell me you actually got to see her.
All the stars out tonight.
Gabriel, you don't seriously think she's interested. She can have any man in the city. You know, men with bank accounts.
I don't have that problem.
You underestimate the Knight family's tragic poet samurai appeal.
Poet samurai.
When Daddy married Mom, she was the hottest catch in town.
I always suspected there was something fishy in your family tree. But seriously, I think you should be careful.
Meow, Grace.
I'm serious. I don't know why,
think
but
she's
I
a
have
touch
a bad
interested.
feeling in the pit of my stomach about this.
It's called jealousy, my dear. And you're right, you should be jealous of Malia Getty. As should every woman on this planet.
I just... never mind. I'll just fix these books. Your life is in your own slippery little hands.
The point is to get it into somebody else's hands. And soon.
He is a cad. I'm beginning to remember why I like this game so much. Now, let's see what the newspaper has to say.
Today's newspaper is on the counter. Times dated June 20th, 1993. Gabriel scans over an uninteresting front page. Under the cultural events section, there's a notice about a lecture on African religions. The lecture is at Tulane University.
Imagine that.
Gabriel's horoscope for the day. An evil eye is upon you. Change your course before it's too late.
Lighten up.
Okay, what's my messages, dearie?
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
Your pal Mosley called. He left a message that they are interrogating a suspect this morning, and you might want to be there.
Sounds fun.
I bet.
Do you have messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
Okay. Well,
Dramatic. Grace's coat is a simple but classic trench coat. Gabriel hates people with good taste.
let's go see Mr. Mosley this morning. Shall we?
See you later.
See ya.
Well, well, well.
A drummer has decided to set up outside the police station.
Hey,
The drummer looks at Gabriel but says nothing in return.
That window
If Gabriel wants to...
Drummers have a habit of being around places, eh?
can I bother you again, officer?
What is it this time?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
Gabriel decides to give Mosley a break and not change the temperature again.
Alright. I thought we'd give it a shot. What the heck?
You! Give me back my badge! Now, Knight!
Sure. Thanks for letting me borrow it.
Yeah? You borrow it again in your history. Now, about today. Glad you made it. It'll give you a feel for how I am in action. You know, handling suspects, that sort of thing.
I'm sure it'll be invigorating. Who is this guy, anyway?
Calls himself Crash. He's been an informant for us before, mostly helping us bust small-time pimps and dealers trying to break into the territory. He's been staying invisible during these murders, but we picked him up this morning at Jackson Square pushing coke. He knows something. Call it detective's instinct.
Detective's instinct. Got it.
Okay.
All right, Crash. I want to hear about these murders. Have you been present at the so-called voodoo rituals?
I don't know nothing. All right, I told you.
Come on now. You can tell me. Do you know anyone who's been to these rituals?
Look, I can't say nothing. You gotta let me go.
Relax. No one knows you're here. The men who picked you up were in plain clothes.
Plain clothed? Like you could fool them. They know I'm here. They've got ears all over the city. They know everything.
Who are they, Crash? Are they the ones doing the murders?
Let me go.
If you're so worried about being detained, start talking. You tell me what I want to hear, and maybe I can get you into the witness protection program. But you gotta earn it.
Witness protection? Are you crazy? Oh, don't make me laugh. Oh, Jesus, just let me out of here.
Oh, come on. Who's behind these murders, Crash? Why are the victims all members of the underworld?
What?
Oh, by now they know I'm here. It's different when I'm supposed to come here. Oh, if I can send a message. Yeah, tell him I didn't say nothing.
Christ, he's freaking useless. Just take him back to detaining, would you, Tony? I tell you, times like this, I'd kill for truth serum. Damn civil rights.
Can I quote you on that?
Huh? Hell no. Damn, we can only keep him for 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna have to let him go. Sorry it wasn't more exciting. You know, for the book, I mean. Hey, maybe you could punch it up some. You know, what do they call that? Fiction. That's it.
It certainly is. I'll see what I can do. Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
What's the status on the voodoo murders case?
Sure as hell ain't going well. There sure are a lot of brakes being applied in different areas of the investigation. We're getting some real info on the victims now, and they're not exactly upstanding citizens. I was hoping to get more out of Crash, but he's scared shitless. We'll have to let him go tomorrow morning.
What's the status on the voodoo murders case?
You're as filled in as me.
I'll let you get back to it.
Later, Knight.
That camera looks professional. The camera isn't Gabriel's to me.
He's scared of something. The only thing that's changed is this guy here.
Hey.
The drummer looks at Gabriel but says nothing in return.
Let's go maybe go back to Jackson Square, see if our... We got another drummer here, see? Notice we had one outside the Voodoo Museum too. Here's our good buddy.
How's it going today?
What? Oh, it's only you. Man, I have been jumpy all day. That pattern of yours really freaked me out for some reason. There's just something creepy.
You finished it?
Yeah, and you're welcome to it. Here.
Wow. This is great.
Uh-huh, yeah, just don't, like, blow up the planet with it or something, okay?
I didn't mean to upset you.
Ah, forget it. I'm probably just being stupid. Do your thing with it, and, good luck.
Okay, let's take a look at that.
The reconstructed Veve was done for Gabriel by a technical artist.
Interesting.
Madame Lorelei, the fortune teller, is garbed in a belly dancer's outfit and wears a boa around her neck. A real boa.
Come on, boys, hoopla!
The booth is a colorful melange. It announces the owner as Madame Lorelei and gives prices for palm readings, $20, crystal ball gazing, $15, and birth charts,
Thanks,
$50.
boys.
Madame Lorelei lounges at the booth, fondling her snake.
Madame Lorelei, is it?
What can I do for you, handsome?
That's a nice snake you have there.
Oh, I could say the same of you.
Well, I know where I got mine. Where'd you get yours?
That's personal.
I'd really like to know more about that snake.
Oh, sorry, sweetie, but I don't discuss Elvis with anyone.
Elvis. Oh, that's priceless.
How's business?
How's business? I have no time for such dull conversation, darling.
How about a reading?
The prices are listed on the sign.
They seem a little steep.
Well, I sometimes do my intimate friends for nothing, but I am a businesswoman.
I'm sure you are. Oh, nothing.
Well, then move aside, sweetie, but stay where I can look at you, okay?
Okay.
Come on, boys, hoopla! Thanks, boys.
Madame Lorelei, the fortune teller, is garbed in a bed.
I want to get a closer look at that snake.
A bronze statue of Andrew Jackson. Benches provide a quiet spot for resting in the park.
Come on, boys, hoopla!
Not a bad idea. Baby, I love the way you move.
Madame Lorelei winks knowingly at Gabriel and twitches her hips.
Yep, she wants me.
Look there now. She's got her veil off. Oh.
Thanks, boys.
It's a silken veil. Gabriel examines the veil with the magnifying glass. The fortune teller's veil is studded with sequins. The sequins look a little strange. Why, it's a snake scale. Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to remove the snake scale from the veil.
I think this veil belongs to you.
Oh, my veil! I'm always losing those things. You have no idea. Well, darling, you're such a sweetie to return a lady's delicates, and so handsome as
Delicates,
well.
yeah, okay, we'll call it that.
Well,
And since you have such a clear interest in fortune-telling, let me see your hands. They look so strong. Perhaps they will make both our fortunes clear, no?
I wish something would.
Strong, yes, and yet so delicate and flexible.
You don't know the half of it.
Oh, good. I see a mysterious woman in your immediate future.
Madame Lorelei winks at Gabriel knowingly.
I bet she does.
She is a dangerous one, dark and beautiful. Oh, I see the road of your life forking, and very soon.
The blood drains from Madame Lorelei's face in an instant. Sweat beads on her upper lip.
Are you okay?
There are forces. Oh God, beware! Beware!
What is it about me lately?
Okay, we wigged out the fortune teller. Oh, that's not a good sign in New Orleans. You're not supposed to wig out the fortune tellers. Just saying. Now,
the iridescent scale is hued olive green. It doesn't seem to match the scale from Lake Pontchartrain.
okay, I wonder if there's anything up at the church.
Flags of the world are displayed from the upper story. A promotion of universal harmony, no doubt. Curtain confession.
May I help you, my child?
Can I ask you a few questions?
The confessional is not the best place for interviews, son. You can contact the parish offices if you need private counseling.
I understand. Thanks, Father.
Is there anything else?
Could you give me a blessing?
Do you feel the need for a blessing?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
All right, if it will comfort you.
The priest blesses Gabriel through the confessional window.
Peace be with you, son.
Thank you, Father.
Is there anything else?
I'd like to make a confession.
All right, if it'll make you feel better.
I've done some pretty rotten things to my friend Mosley.
Rotten? What do you mean?
Practical jokes, insults, among other things.
I see. Are you sorry?
Well...
Pray for forgiveness and say 3 rosaries.
3 rosaries.
Is there anything else?
I haven't paid my assistant for 3 months.
Have you had the money?
Nope.
Sounds like a matter for the courts, son, not the church. Is there anything else?
Some people say I'm a selfish person, Father.
We can always strive to improve ourselves. Patterns can be broken.
Yes. Thank you, Father.
Is there anything else?
I've had impure thoughts about a woman I met.
Impure thoughts? You mean thoughts of sexual relations?
You
Yeah,
could
let's say that.
But worse than what you mean.
Worse? You mean extreme sexual relations?
Well, not involving animals or anything.
Oh, well. Perhaps we should just
leave it at that.
Pray for forgiveness and say
10 rosaries. Well, we're up to 13.
Is there
Rosary
anything
count
else?
is 13.
I've had a lot of women, Father.
How many
A
more can
lot?
we get for?
More than 10?
Yes, Father.
More than 20?
Yes, Father.
More than 40?
Yes, Father.
Son, I don't think this is a matter for a priest. I think you need a good therapist.
No money,
If we're
remember?
counting therapists, then I'm up to at least, let's see, count.
If we're counting therapists.
This might take a while.
My son, I'm afraid my lunch break is coming on about now. Pray for forgiveness and say 20 rosaries.
33 rosaries.
On second thought, when you finish the math, say that many rosaries.
Gabriel hears him leave the confessional.
I should probably add one more rosary for that while I'm at it. I've been a bad boy.
All right.
The confessional is about a meshed window
Alright, how do I get out? No, return to game.
I've always wondered how the other half lives.
The priest's side of the confessional is made of well-oiled wood. There's also a box under the shelf on this side. There's a box inside the box. Gabriel finds a priest's collar and some oil used for blessing. The mesh window on this side has a... He hears someone enter and kneel down on the other side.
Father, I'd like to make a confession.
Go on, my son.
I've recently come into a large sum of money.
I don't really see a problem with that.
It's not that. It's how I got it. I literally found a suitcase of money. So I picked it up and took it instead of telling the police or trying to find who it belonged to.
Give it up to charity.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Thanks, Father.
The man leaves the confessional.
Now I can say I did one good deed today.
He hears someone enter and kneel down on the other side.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
Do go on.
I've had impure thoughts about men, Father.
Surely it can't be all that bad.
Oh, it is, Father. No, I can't say that to a priest.
Don't worry about that, sweetheart. You say whatever you need to, in detail.
You don't sound like a priest.
But how can you cleanse your mind unless you fully express your sins, my child?
Aren't you just supposed to tell me to say rosaries or something?
We'll get to that, but first...
No offense, Father, but I think I'll try another confessional.
The young woman leaves the confessional.
Okay, I think we can probably be back for something. There'll be another time, but it's nice to know we can do that.
The sign says the...
Go to Tulane.
It looks like the lecture is just starting.
Voodoo is the tribal religion of Africa, but the name Voodoo is actually a banner heading, under which resides an entire body of distinct tribal belief systems. The word voodoo may sound familiar to you. What is known in the States as voodoo is actually an amalgamation of African religious systems, voodoo, and European religions, primarily Catholicism. All of these subcults of African voodoo have certain things in common. The most important is the worship of a pantheon of spirits, instead of the single deity that the Christian and Muslim systems have. Some of these spirits are elementals. Some relate to specific tasks or places. Some represent important tribal leaders who have died. This spirit worship is what makes voodoo so easily adaptable. With all these spirits, it's no problem to add a few more. Say, for example, the Virgin Mary. At the height of tribal Africa, warfare was common. One tribe would conquer another, and the Loa, important in the conqueror's tribal system, would be adopted readily into the conquered tribe's Loa pantheon. In this way, many of the voodoo cults spread and mingled throughout tribal Africa, enriching the belief system and causing innumerable offshoots. The basis for the voodoo religion seems to be as old as man himself. It has much in common with many early pagan practices: animal totems, sympathetic magic, elemental spirits in the trees, the heavens, the bodies of the sick. Africa is believed by many to be the cradle of the human race. Some of the voodoo Loa may be as old as the Garden of Eden itself. We still can't explain some of the real power of these primal religions. And note, I said primal, not primitive. There are African Bokors who baffle our scientists with their supernatural powers. Now, let's discuss the elements of voodoo.
Fascinating guy.
In voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa. During a voodoo ceremony, celebrants are possessed by the Loa. This is called being ridden. The human worshipper is seen as a horse, and the Loa as the divine horseman. A person being ridden by a Loa takes on the characteristics of that spirit, and becomes, in effect, merely a vessel for the more powerful entity. Some of the older original Africa Loire include Damballa, the great serpent god, Ezuli, the mistress of love, Papa Nebo, or Gede, the lord of death, Awe, the spirit of water.
Really? Gede, the lord of death.
Spirit of the crossroads. And the cruelest and most dangerous, Ogun Badagri, the lord of destruction.
I gotta get more sleep at night.
Tribe-specific Loire can have as much or more power as the more widely worshipped Loire. For instance, a particular tribe might revere highly the Loire of an ancestor who was a legendary hunter or politician. Voodoo temples are called Houndfors. Their priests, Houngan or Bokors, their priestesses, Mama Loire. In a Voodoo Houndfor, there's a ritual circle marked by a center pole called a Poteau Meton. During ritual conclaves, initiates dance under the supervision of a Bokor and a Mama Loire, or head priestess. The use of totems, or animal masks and markings, was not uncommon in the original African ceremonies. Now, though, all but the oldest sects have abandoned this practice. Ritual objects used during the conclaves included the ritual gourd, or asan, the ritual knife, or kubasa.
That knife gives me the chills.
The ritual whip, or fouet-cache, and the ritual coffin, or seke madule. These items are often optional, called for by the Mama Loire for specific magical rituals. The Mama Loire is the most powerful figure in any Voodoo sect. Voodoo is a truly matriarchal system. Even the Bokor knows his power is limited. The Mama Loire is the supreme woman. She goes out of her house at night, sees many things, and tries to get butterflies, and at night again she sees other things, including fireflies.
Looks like I kind of passed out.
Gabriel?
What? Can't see.
Gabriel, get in.
Can't. It's too small for me.
You must get in, Gabriel.
It's not mine. Too small.
Hide, Gabriel. Hide.
No. Let me out. Help!
Young man, the lecture is over.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Are you a student?
No. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Well, you've already interrupted and slept through my lecture, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
A burning wheel. Huh. Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care to about reptiles.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Do you know anything about veves?
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
Tell me about Damballa.
Damballa is one of the major Rada Loire, also known as Damballa Wedo. He is an ancient Dahomean rain god. often represented as a large boa constrictor. Damballa is the most powerful and most violent of the Rada Loa. The Rada Loa are typically benevolent, as opposed, say, to the Patro Loa. He is still worshipped heavily in Haiti, and when voodoo first started in New Orleans, the early conclaves were reportedly based on the worship of the great zombie, the great serpent Damballa.
Tell me more about Damballa.
I have extensive courses in the Loa running next semester. Perhaps you should take one of those, Mr. Knight.
Tell me about Ogun Badagri.
Ogun Badagri is one of the Patro Loa. The Patro Loa are much more violent than the Rada Loa. Some people believe the Patro Loa originated in Haiti, but I have found some evidence that the Patro Loa were African as well, though worshipped only by a small voodoo tribe, and a very bloody one.
Tell me more about Ogun Badagri.
He is a chief nasty, Mr. Knight. He is the spirit of war and destruction.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery, in turn, has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps you should read my books.
Tell me about yourself.
All right, Mr. Knight. I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse, in religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual, when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
Oh, no.
No.
Fine.
No.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting, from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treat voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with.
Do you know what Capri Sancour means?
Capri Sancour? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
What was that translation for Capri?
It's French.
What can you tell me about?
You already sat through my lecture on...
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible, if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Ezuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Ezuli is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. but I have seen grown and powerful Houngan tremble before possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that Loa will simply take it for themselves.
Can you tell me anything about this?
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Mind if I copy this?
Be my guest.
Great. I'll be right back.
I think we found somebody who can answer some questions.
Here you go. You know, this is a fascinating Veve. You must tell me all about its origin.
Actually, I was hoping you'd tell me. Can you figure out anything about it from the symbols?
Well, some. That's why I wanted a copy. I want to research the design myself.
Have you heard of the voodoo murders?
No. You're kidding. Really? Then the voodoo is authentic. The newspapers are wrong. Boy, are they wrong.
You think this Veve is authentic?
Authentic? Mr. Knight, that's like asking if the Mona Lisa is a painting. Tell you what, I'll look into these symbols myself and see what I can learn about the sect that made this. I'll give you a call when I have more information. You are associated with the police, aren't you?
Absolutely. But I'm undercover. You can contact me at St. George's Bookshop in the quarter.
All right. Now, I'd like to get started on this, if you don't mind.
Okay, thanks.
Good day, Mr. Knight.
I think we got him. Yes! All right.
Hello, beautiful. It's me.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
She's just so kind to me.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
No, sorry.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
Ooh, no. Makes my skin crawl, though.
I'm gonna have to go back to the museum.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope, none right now.
Is this the Casino residence?
Yes. What can I do for you?
Do you or does anyone in your family patronize the Dixieland drugstore?
I'm a busy man. What are you selling?
Nothing.
Good. Goodbye.
See, for those of you who don't remember, this is what phones used to look like. Some of us remember them with dials.
Hi, Casino residence.
Hi. I was wondering if you could help me.
Yeah?
A woman in the Dixieland drugstore dropped her purse today, and the name Casino was inside it.
Dixieland drugstore? Never heard of it. Sorry.
Hello, I'm calling from the Dixieland drugstore. We have an order for you.
Castro, be quiet.
Castro.
Who is this?
I'm a friend of the owner.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Castro, I think. I wonder if they're. Let's call the other one just to make sure.
Casino residents, may I help you?
Hi, you've won a customer raffle at the Dixieland drugstore.
No soliciting, please.
Okay. Well, the name of the dog is Castro.
Cajun Critters Animal Clinic. This is Melissa.
Do you have a Madame Casino as a client?
Madam Casino? Sure, I know her. She's not here right now, though.
Really? She told me she'd be there. Would you happen to have her address by any chance?
Yes, but I'm not sure I should give it out. Who are you again?
I'm worried about Castro. He's missed 3 dance lessons.
Castro? Her little doggy? Oh, he's so sweet. Well, I guess if you know Castro, it's okay. Her address is 345 Dauphine.
Thanks.
I gotta see. Yes, there actually is a 345 Dauphine Street in New Orleans, by the way. Okay. It's 8:52. I think we're gonna call it here tonight, and I think we're gonna go back to the museum tomorrow night when we get in. Just as a note, tomorrow night's stream may be late because I've got some family stuff to do. So watch me on Twitter at BatteryH, no underscore there, for news of when I'm going to be streaming then. With that being said, everybody, we're going to save right here, I think. With that, I want to say thank you again to everybody who's been watching. We will pick up tomorrow with the next day of the 100 Days of Gaming. Again, if you'd like to donate, simply search the links below, and you'll see stuff on Extra Life there and my donation page. If you'd like to join Extra Life and help raise money for your own local children's hospital, simply go to www.extra-life.org. And you can sign up there. It takes about 10 minutes. If you get the base membership, or if you get the base program, it's absolutely free. For $15, you can join the platinum membership. We've got T-shirts and medals and all kinds of wonderful giveaways that the organization does for reaching certain funding goals. It's a really good time, and not to mention the fact that you're going to be helping kids and taking the passion that we have for gaming and that stuff and turning it into a great cause. It's really simple to sign up. Then you just let your family and friends know what you're doing. Ask them to make donations. You don't even have to play for 24 straight hours if you don't want to. People there play not just video games. You certainly don't have to stream. We have people that play board games. We have people that play card games. I know folks that play mobile games for 24 hours over the course of a year. I think you can manage that. Again, just www.extra-life.org. If you're on Twitch, hang on. Stay loose with me for just a minute. After the end of this stream, we're going to find somebody to host. and somebody may want to watch. We've got some friends out there, I'm certain, that are playing. So until next time, everybody, have a great night, and always remember to let the Wookiee win.
If you've enjoyed the stream, despite the awful host, please consider a donation to Extra Life. Thank you for watching.